14th of November marks an important date on the Indian calendar. It's a day when India's first Prime Minister, Mr. Jawahar Lal Nehru, was born.
At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
Despite serving 3 times as India's Prime Minister, today Nehru has become a sensational figure amongst the Indians. Many steaming debates and discussions are held around him.
पंडित नेहरू जब आए थे, अव्यवस्था के कारण यहाँ भगदड़ मच गई थी कुंभ के मेले में, हजारों लोग मारे गए थे।
नेहरू जी के साथ सदन में नोक-झोंक भी हुआ करती थी।
नेहरू जी भी उसी रास्ते चलते तो शायद जो जिहादी आतंकवाद का रूप हम देख रहे हैं उसका सामना भी भारत को नहीं करना पड़ता।
One such hotly debated topic is why Jawaharlal Nehru was chosen as the face of independent India's prime ministership instead of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who back then was considered to be a better leader than Nehru. Let's find out in today's video what were the pros and cons of our first prime minister and whether Pandit Nehru was really a disaster for India. As World War II was coming to an end, it was evident that India's freedom from British rule was close to the next door. After the victory of the 1946 elections, it was obvious that the Congress party would be invited to form the interim government at the centre. Maulana Azad, who served as the party's president from 1940 to 1946, wanted to be re-elected for the same position. But Mahatma Gandhi on 20th of April made it clear that his preferential candidate for Prime Minister's position is his near and dear, Jawaharlal Nehru. A week later, on 29th of April, Pradesh Congress Committee, despite knowing Gandhi's choice for Nehru, chose to vote in favor of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Out of these 15 committees, 12 nominated Patel for PM's position, but Nehru was determined to only don Prime Minister's hat. Later on, Gandhiji had to turn to Sardar Patel. He requested him to withdraw his name, which he agreed to do. Therefore, without Pradesh Congress Committee's approval, Jawaharlal Nehru's desire to be the Prime Minister came true on 15th of August 1947. We all remember Sardar Patel's contribution to assimilating various princely states into the Indian Union. But the fate of Kashmir was designed by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who kept Patel aside from this region, and instead he hired N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar to handle the Kashmir matter. The situation was becoming worse as the Pakistani army was constantly interfering in the state, disrupting its peace and law and order. Nehru, on Mountbatten's advice and against Sardar Patel's persuasion due to his personal interest, took this matter to the United Nations. Since then, we all know that Kashmir has been an unresolved matter for so long. Even at the global level, he failed the countrymen by forming the non-alignment policy. In the height of the Cold War, the USA actively pursued allies in Asia. India was also contacted, but we rejected the concept. Instead, Nehru devised the policy of remaining neutral toward the two superpowers, USA and USSR. By 1961, Nehru had contributed to the founding of non-alignment movement. Subsequently, the USA formed the diabolical partnership with Pakistan. Ultimately, India was then forced to form an ally with USSR, undermining the non-aligned movement's goal and harming Indo-US ties for many years. As we all know, Nehru's friendship with China was not returned. During the 1950s, China made claims of owning certain parts of territories in India. It has been reported that Nehru was aware of China's intention, but he remained silent because he believed that the Chinese regime would have a change of heart, considering his 1960s Panchsheel Agreement and the motto Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai. But he heavily mistook China's objectives. Thus, India was unprepared for Mao's invasion in 1962. The space science and its achievements that we Indians are celebrating right now could come into proper implementation because of Nehru's scientific farsightedness. On the 3rd of January in the year 1954, to assemble all research and development activities for nuclear reactors and technology under the Atomic Energy Commission, the Atomic Energy Establishment Trombay was started by the Government of India. Later on, the establishment's name was changed to Bhabha Atomic Center after scientist Homi J. Bhabha's certain demise, who was respected as Nehru's closest ally. The IITs, IIMs and NITs we all dream of getting admission today were built under Nehru's rule. He also led the establishment of national mass enrollment programs for schools, for villages and the building of thousands of schools. He propagated that education was the only means to achieving the social change. One of the main points of disputes between India and Pakistan post-partition was who would control Punjab's rivers. An important factor in the 1960s was the signing of the Indus Water Treaty under Nehru's guidance. If this treaty hadn't been signed, then we might have anticipated a few more water-related conflicts with Pakistan. Famous business American magazine Forbes former editor James W. Michael labeled Jawahar Lal Nehru as the worst disaster to ever hit India. In an article on Outlook's website, when the journalist questioned James on his remark, India made many false starts, he explained that Nehru, though we loved him and admired him at the time, was probably the worst disaster to ever hit India, at least in economic terms. It said that Nehru was basically a Brahmin snob and he did not like business people. Instead of the government getting out of the way and letting the market allocate business resources, the government did it. Now, James' personal philosophy might have differed from Nehru's socialist ideologies, but facts and realities cannot be shadowed by our hypothesis. Post-partition, the country had gone its struggle, with majority of its resources ruined, plunged or corrupted, with a mere 20% of educated Indians posing and installing an economic model that would support the livelihood of A-listed businessmen or industrialists would not just have been a wrong plan, but would have also shrunk India's future possibility of regaining economic consciousness. Thousands of opinions about Nehru and his prime ministership. While I agree with some critical arguments, I neglect the debate when it tries to dismiss his legacy. Doing that would not just be unfair to India's history, but also to his achievements that he had in 16 years of his prime ministership.